I think I always hold a position of where many people are, that we have good policy in this country. The implementation is the issue. I remember that time Professor Lumumba was in the ERC, and he was like, we'll face it head on. How long did he survive there? Because he was raising voice, saying the where we need to work fast is starting from the legislators, so that if they are clean, because they are our check system, they will follow up everyone. So today, if some of these governors want to work their way, and they have several billion into their disposal, they will buy their way.
Okay.
They will still buy their way. Is it only one governor who is culpable? And you can see the report from the Auditor General.
Yes.
That is almost implicating every governor. So we should be seeing more governor under behind the bars, so that then we say that it is serious. Maybe probably, is it our investigative system that has not been working? Or is it our courts which are not working? Because the corruption cases, we should have actually a court dedicated deliberately for these matters, so that there is a shortcut. Even if there is a slight proof that there is something happened, no negotiation. Chukua kila kitu chenye huyu mtu ameiba, chukua hata zile ako nazo, so that this one can assist us probably to show others that if you go the same route,
the same will happen to
you. Same will happen to you.
Okay.
There are many cases. I give a good example. Last year, I saw is it the former or he's still there? The CEO, Ken H, was implicated of close to around 8 billion.
Okay.
He still went on being in office. Atuna aibu. Actually, the more you take, the more probably you are respected and given more offices to serve. The bad behavior is still encouraged in one way or the other in our government offices. If only we can focus, ukipatikana, even if you are doubted, step aside, let the investigation be carried on. Tukishamaliza tujue kweli ulikuwa hauna tatizo, you'll be compensated. But kama kweli kulikuwa na tatizo, I think we should not have mercy on any person who is. Any country that has changed, like a change it, we come, let's change. Let the bad manners stop. They had to take corrective drastic measures, including hanging people. Hata kama una mali gani, potelea pale, hata kama unajua nani. So that is the kind of measures that we want to see in our country.
Okay, that's fair enough. Do you think?
Let me say, by the way, before we end up, today ukienda kwa ministry yoyote ama any parastatal and you seemingly don't want to engage. For instance, let me give a good example. As small as uko kwa ministry fulani and you are person who umewekwa uende maybe utembee mahali fulani, kuna zile allowance unapewa, kuna mtu amekuwekwa hapo na anataka umrudishie kitu. If you don't, you are never involved even in those meetings. You cannot be allowed to go anywhere because ama you are like, hii utaenda ufanye hivi, hii pesa kuna ingine iko free hapa, rudisha. And you say no, I don't do that. You will be isolated because you are not working very well. You are not smart to work with the system.
Yeah, but then the question is, like, for how long are we doing this? For how long will we be able to root out corruption? Because as we speak in our country, Kenya, corruption imeenda mpaka chini. Because look at the example that you're giving an example of someone ako pale kwa cashier's office or somewhere ambapo anatakiwa kwa wewe akupatie pesa, unaenda wapi? Umetumwa nje. So this person not give you money until you are able to mpaka umpatie ka little kakat. Again, looking at our leaders, then now another question comes in. Who is this? Who is clean to fight that corruption? Another issue that comes out is the issue of the constitution. Do you think our constitution in one way or another hinder the fight against corruption, because to some extent you are innocent until you have been proven guilty. And when you look at being proven guilty, a lot is involved. Talk of sufficient evidence that huyu mtu kweli ameiba. So do you think our constitution somehow pia inazuia katika fight ya corruption?
Yeah, you are right that to some extent our constitution is so generous, or rather it favors even those who could be culprits, because at the end of the day, I saw the governor for Isiolo is now has been impeached by the county assembly, and is supposed to be the impeachment to proceed at the Senate.
Yeah, actually the Senate saved him. He's now back in office.
Oh, they saved him.
Yes.
They exonerated him.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. So but then he had already ran, amekimbia, ameenda wapi? Kotini, amepata court order that the impeachment is not proceed. How do you determine a procedure that has not been concluded? But yes, that's what I was saying. Is it true that the governor has not misappropriated funds?
That's a question.
Is it true that the governor has nothing wrong for warranting him his impeachment? Because we know he came on glare, and he actually said he was accused of having employed more than 23 advisors against around 7. He's supposed to have around 7.
Okay.
Maximum.
Yeah, so he added 16 more.
Including some of the former MCAs who he worked within. And it was proved. So then you wonder, that is now unaona cartel sasa imeongezeka. You have accused me, yes. I have managed to involve more people. So when you are a good leader and you want even elective position today, and you don't want even kuhongana wananchi, hautachaguliwa. And to give a good example of a place I know, an MCA alikuwa amekataliwa na watu kabisa.
Okay.
Hii last election.
All right.
Watu hataki hata a campaign. He went and sat down. The competitor amekubalika, kila mahali anaenda na kubalika. Siku ya mwisho, the guy employed tax, akatumia pesa. Alichukua bodaboda, akawalipa pesa. And then akawaambia mtakuwa mnatoa watu kwa manyumba, na akienda akichukua kura anapiga picha na niletea. Akilete wale walilete 2000 kila mtu anakimbia mtu, nimelipwa 2000. He won by a landslide.
This is the one who had been rejected.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can buy your way in, and anyone who buys his way into office, that is a very dangerous man, because he has no interest for the people who he bought to elect him. So hiyo ndio shida tunasema. Is there good people? They are good people. But will they be given chance to lead? Because everyone anaweka mtu mahali. You are planting your system. Unaweka mizizi ya watu wale ambao unajua hawa ninaenda kufanya kazi na wao. Kufanya kazi na wao kivipi? Kwamba you are establishing your own cartel. Kama ni sehemu ya mafuta, hakikisha umeweka watu wako. Kama ni sehemu ya hii tendering processes, unaweka watu wako. So ikishafika unaambiwa kampuni fulani na kampuni fulani. So you have no, even you don't make a decision.
Yes.
You are just there in an office, but you don't make any decision. So I think that's what we want. We want a leader who will come and really put their interest in the right direction. We change the way people, the behavior of our people, so that then we get to know. Unajua kama leo hata ukiingia vijana wale wadogo wanaajiliwa leo hii. Unfortunately, what happened? Ukitaka kuingia ofisi, maybe ulihongana. And that's happening in most of the county. And I can say even here in Nairobi. I saw what happened even the recent. You don't, even shortlisting, you have to see someone.
Yes.
And be shortlisted. Now for interview,
you see someone
for you now to go through. At the end of the exercise, you have bought your way into employment. So when you are there, if there is any means to get your money back, you'll do it. You'll do it. From the culture, hiyo culture already umeipanda kutoka mahali umeingilia, na utaendelea nayo mpaka siku. Because once you do it once, you'll continue doing it. Now, ile shida pia tuko nayo kwa nchi yetu. There are very many people who have been accused of corruption. Hizi corruption zimeisha ama wale waliyekuwa accused, has their case been finalized or not? Mtu anadileisha kesi, ikishaenda 3 years, they can buy their way out because many people have forgotten about it. Go look around the issue of NHF. There is a gentleman used to be called Geoffrey Mwangi. He was accused of embezzling close to 9 billion.
Who's this Mwangi?
Geoffrey Mwangi was a CEO.
He was a CEO.
Yes.
Okay.
And then this gentleman akakuwa hauled out of the office. Kesi ikaendelea close to around 5-7 years there. The gentleman was cleared
of 9 billion.
9 billion. Now wakati ule walikuwa namtoa kwa ofisi, there was good evidence kutolewa ofisi. Wakati kesi imeendelea imefika, unapata because probably the issue is hakuwa peke yake. Hakuwa peke yake. There were some big fish. Yeye alitumika kupitisha pesa. So pesa ikishapitishwa, wala ambaye wewe ndio you are the accused, don't say anything, we will deal with the matter. So they buy time until the system is imekubaliana vizuri, they buy their way out. Na unakuwa cleared. The next time utaona nimemwona nataka kuwa governor wa Nakuru. So he will still buy his way probably to Nakuru. Yes. Or the people who want him there because he is still their system, they will want to put him there so that they continue looting this country.
Okay. And you realize bado wataregeshewa pesa zote zenye amekuwa alipwi.
Hizo pesa already kama ulikuwa umechukua already 9 billion is
I mean the salary yenye sasa amekuwa hajapata for those all that period.
Unajua hiyo inategemea kama ata claim, because anaweza kuwa hata claim because anajua ata raise issues zenye zinaweza kuwa pia mtu anaweza tokea pale na alete kesi nyingine. So what do they normally avoid, because they look at where do I benefit more, because you have been left with the 9 billion. 9 billion unafikiri ni pesa ngapi unaweza lipwa ndio ufikishe 9 billion for your time in office?
George, let me ask you. If today I were to steal even 1 million.
Yes.
1 million.
Yes.
I do not know where I'll hide it. Where do you hide 9 billion?
Yes, that's why I say the system is bigger than the way you think it is. Kuna wakati ule tulikuwa tunabadilisha pesa zetu. Did you hear the report how people were taking cash money to banks?
In sacks.
Watu wanaka, yes.
Magunia.
Watu wanaweka pesa kwa magunia kwa manyumba zao.
And actually the stories that we heard that time, they were targeting some people who are known to be having a lot of cash.
So even some of them, what they did, they ran outside this country, maybe up Uganda, Tanzania, they took the cash money there. Because then you cannot afflict zile systems za pale wakisha urudisha. Whichever it happens, you still have to comply because you don't want issues with the country, between country and country.
Yes.
Wamepitishia country ile ingine cause walishindwa vile wataingiza zote hapa.
Where do you hide 9 billion?
But you know, most of this money unapata ilitumwa ikapita kwa
system.
Already utapata imeenda kwa the Comoros, imepelekwa where there is no strict measures in terms of money transfer, imepelekwa Switzerland.
Inarudi in form of inarudi in form of maybe grant, in form of hiyo ndio money laundering by the way. You put it in the system.
Foundation is cleaning money. They clean the money now. Unaona mtu amefungua Gibores Foundation.
Yes.
Unaanza kushangaa pesa zimetoka wapi. Jaribu fungue foundation uone kama utapata pesa kirahisi.
So today if I open Mungala Movie Foundation unless I'm cleaning money from radio generation, I am struggle,
my brother.
So these foundations we see around, someone is
many of them are cleaning money.
Amepitisha pesa Comoros, then akalpatiwa kama donation.
Yes. Yes. You see, that is how the system is.
Stop corrupting my mind, people. Wacheni kunipatia
idea. You don't know how this
money is. Wacheni kunipea
idea. Wash, of course, it is illegal money.
And you hear, you look at many companies that are getting tenders in this country, big tenders. They are registered outside the country. Then they come register here, several companies. So there is this company that got the tender, but is the main tender. I mean,
the one executing the tender is now here.
Yes,
but the one that won the tender,
contracted. The one that won the tender is outside the country.
Let's say it's
but there is Germany. Several others. Yes.
So the German one won the tender.
Yes.
But now it subcontracts the ones here in Kenya.
Yes.
To do the work.
Yes. So for you to follow that route, mpaka ufike mahali pesa iko. It is a long process. So unamtuma naenda fuatilia hii, akifika pale anaambiwa ndugu, uko na nini wewe kuja kufuatilia pesa kiasi hichi? Unafuatilia 9 billion. I can make you a millionaire in any case
tonight.
Wewe hata hauna nyumba ya kulala, you are still renting.
Shika hii kwanza.
Shika funguo. Unapelekwa Muthaiga, uko na nyumba imenunuliwa more than 100 million. Uko na gari. And that is the person you umetuma kwenda
investigate. We have a problem. So we are saying basically that the system is messed up in that kind of way, and that is how we are able to find.
We are entangled in these issues because even those who are making a lot of noise, they are dirty themselves. Mwizi mwingine anashautia mwizi mwingine. Akifika mahali anamwambia, unajua hata wewe tunajua shida zako. Anatulia. And that is why you see very many people, as much as they shout, ukienda nyuma wako na issue zao. Land fulani iliibiwa na ni yeye iko hapo na ilitolewa serikali.
So there's blackmail as well.
Blackmail iko.
Actually
so the shida tuko nazo ni mingi. Maybe I hope that we'll get genuine leaders from the young generation who are showing a lot of zealousness. But always we normally say a lot of noise is not a reflection of election. And some people are silent and you wonder that they will still be leaders.
Yes.
So I am not confused. Confused. I cannot agree that indeed the way they are saying that we are going to change 99%. Ni ngumu. We still have a long way to go.
I want to ask you, as Patricia is preparing her question, and I hope you're not in a hurry because we have another 1 hour to go. I want to
chai tukunywe. Mimi niko hapa hata ukitaka tukae mpaka jioni because hatujaongelea masuala yangu ya afya.
Tuongelea masuala ya afya. Umefanya vizuri sana ukaleta masuala ya vijana. Gen Zs, the youth, we are giving them so many names nowadays, But the point is young people in this country are very vocal about issues. Do you think they are ready to take over reins of power and ensure such things that we are discussing here, you know, the money laundering and the systemic issues and the endemic issues are not going to be witnessed going forward, starting with 2027? Because right now they have already started. As it is, wameshaanza kelele. As it is, they want to see things change in their country. But in 2027, they are saying they are partyless, leaderless, tribeless. Do you think they have the capacity to take over the reins of power in this country and actually just do better than their predecessors?
I don't know whether I'm among the young people.
Yes.
But I believe I'm also very young.
You're youthful.
And I'm not Gen Z, yes. You know, we have a country. Sisi ni wale ambaye wakati tulikuwa tukienda shule, chifu akikupata kwa barabara umechelewa, ulikuwa unachapwa kweli kweli. Unapelekwa shule. Chifu angejua hujaenda shule, angekuja kukutafuta kwenu. Akujie mzazi kwa nini? Na leo hii unajua unaweza amua kukaa na mtoto kwa nyumba, hakuna chifu atakuja kuona.
Ni kweli.
The community approach we had to issues is no longer there. Now we are seeing a community that is coming here And you'll see tuko na vijana wadogo wale ambao wanasema tunataka kuendelesha nchi yetu tofauti, and indeed they are raising very salient issues on corruption and the kind of leaders we want to have. The biggest question you're asking is whether they have that capacity to take up the politically. I don't see that. I don't see that zealousness in political design. When you want to come up as a politician, you want to be known for something. You want to have something that people know you for, so that they can identify with it. Where we are, tunaona vijana leo wamegeuka hivi, kesho wanageuka hivi. Kesho wako hivi, kesho wako hivi. Kama wanataka kuwa na a strong movement yenye inaweza badilisha, they must have a system that is known for something, and they must also be somewhere to negotiate. For instance, we could be having a way of supporting them, or even other international to support them to run for political positions. And then when you want to run for any political position, you must prepare for it. So you need a lot of resources. Hatujawaona hiyo, hatujui nembu yao ni gani, bado hatujui. Tunajua wanaongelea corruption. That is true. Tunajua wanaongelea vitu mabadiliko ama maendeleo yale wanataka katika nchi. Ndio. Lakini tunajua vizuri kwamba mabadiliko hayaji kwa ncha ya panga. Yanakuja kwa mikakati mizuri, mipango mizuri. You have to plan for it. So if you look at it today, we are almost two years to the election period. Sijaona hiyo mikakati. Ninataka kusema wazi, kama wana mpango, tunataka kuona hiyo mikakati. Wale ambao wamejitokeza, nikamuona Kasmuel sasa nimemuona na sura mingi sana. Mara kwa serikali nimeshika mkono, mara kwa Raila, mara anasema kwa chama ingine. Already this is a vagabond leader. We don't know what you stand for. You may be speaking eloquently, telling us what you want to do, but already the way your character is selling you out. Morara had a very good approach. He moved here doing a lot of expose, like the projects, this project is that my area. Hii barabara nasema ilipewa pesa more than 10 years ago. Na money was allocated. Indeed. And I felt like this is very, very good. All of a sudden, he was branded government project. All of a sudden, he has said, no, let me relax. Politics is difficult. Yes. So, for those who have tried to say that I can go for this, I can't see them really wanakaa kama wanataka kwenda. Morana was doing good from my side. Yes. Nasema alikuwa anafanya vizuri. Alikuwa ametambua kitu cha kupush. The issues of exposure and the focusing on corruption was good on his side. All right. But now that he is off the line, we don't know any other person. Maybe you have seen one. Yeah. And kama unataka kufanya kitu lazima mkubali kwamba utatakiwa kuongozwa na mmoja wenu ndiye atawaongoza. Wakati ikifika huwezi ongozwa na mtu yoyote, unakaa kama uko mfiringo, hauna mwelekeo. I want us to stop there for a second. We get into the news, then when we return we pick up from there and we also talk about the health sector and what is plaguing it. Yeah. So don't go too far. We'll be right back.
It's 8 o'clock.
Radio generation, the sound is fine. Pump it up, turn it high all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga. A police officer accused of shooting a protester during recent demonstrations in Nairobi is now facing murder charges. The Director of Public Prosecutions has recommended that Clinzy Baraza be charged for the fatal shooting of Boniface Kariuki. Mask vendor was hit in the head during protest on June 17th and later died in hospital on June 30th, 2025. Baraza has been placed in custody as he awaits formal arraignment before the High Court. According to court proceedings, the DPP confirmed that the murder charge has already been filed at the Milimani Law Court and will be mentioned before presiding judge for further directions.
High Court has received information dated the 9th of July 2025 under the head of Ms. Kikoi Gishohe, Senior Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions, charging you with murder contrary to Section 203 as read with Section 204 of the Penal Code. The particulars of the offence being that on the 17th of June 2025, outside Imenti House in Nairobi Central Business District, within Nairobi County, you murdered Boniface Kariuki Mwangi.
Amid rising health concerns caused by cancer in the country, health stakeholders are calling for increased investment in treatment of the disease in the country. Led by Kenyan Network of Cancer Organizations Executive Director Phoebe Ongandi, players in the sector warned of rising burden of the disease, which they say continues to expose the country to a public health crisis. The call was made during a media engagement ahead of the second National Cancer Summit, slated for the 27th to 30th of July 2025.
We need to have very dedicated strategies to make sure all the chemicals that have been identified to have carcinogenic effects should be banned.
Take screening, early detection, prevention, diagnostics, treatment, palliative care, and survivorship to the next level.
Is their infrastructure. So we need the concerted efforts, not just from the National Cancer Institute and the Ministry of Health, but the county governments should also move in.
The family of 15-year-old boy Solomon Kibia from Limuru is demanding justice after he was shot in the leg during Sabasaba protest. According to his family, the grade 9 pupil was not part of the protest but was playing football with friends. Solomon's father John says his son was taken to Tigoni Sub-County Hospital before being booked at the Limuru Sub-County Police Station. The father says his son is now required to appear in court to face charges of vandalism.
Wakaanza kuniuliza, sasa wewe mtoto wako tunataka kumpatia free board, na tukimpatia free board bado utamleta hapa kotini, hapa polisi tarehe 17 mwezi hii. Wakaniambia utaenda na yeye. Nikamwambia mimi naweza enda na yeye, lakini siwezi mtoa hapa nimpeleke nyumbani, labda nimpeleke hospital.
The search for a missing medic from Naivasha Sub-County Hospital ended in tragedy after a decomposing body was discovered buried in a shallow grave within her compound. Jane Wamboye, a clinical officer in charge of the pediatric ward at the facility, was found dead at a home in Raini village a day after her house help was arrested in connection with the disappearance. The decomposing body was exhumed with pieces of clothes tightly wrapped around the victim's neck.
Tukaanza uchunguzi wetu ambapo tukapata suspect moja ambaye alituelekeza kwa nyumba ya marehemu anaitwa Jane Wamboi. Akaweza kutuonyesha mahali alisikwa nyuma ya nyumba yake in a shallow grave around 3 feet. Otherwise tunaendelea kutafuta wengine ambao walihusika kwa hilo jambo. Asante.
Huenda ni kipi ambacho kilipelekea hili kufanyika?
Ndio sababu tunaendelea na uchunguzi. Saa hizi hatuna sababu kamili, lakini tunaendelea na uchunguzi wetu.
Aliyetiwa mbaroni ni nani na alihusika vipi kwa mujibu wa taarifa ambazo mmeweza kupokea hadi sasa?
Kwa sababu bado tunaendelea na uchunguzi, tuwezi sema hiyo saa hii. Tukiendelea mbele na uchunguzi wetu tutaanza
A US judge has once again blocked President Donald Trump from implementing an executive order ending birthright citizenship for some US residents as a legal challenge moves forward. A judge approved a class action lawsuit against Trump's executive order and temporarily stopped the president's order from taking effect. The class action lawsuit was brought by American Civil Liberties Union on behalf of immigrant parents and their infants. The The decision comes weeks after the Supreme Court introduced limits on how and when universal injunctions are issued by federal courts. And that's the Truth on Radio Generation. Good morning to Mwini Maganga.
In the beginning, there was morning radio. But now there is Radio Generation's The People's Breakfast. Curious and bold, getting facts from the shadows.
That's what it is.
Now, as the city wakes and secrets stir, a bright new voice shines. The People's Breakfast. Your morning, your voice, your journey. Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Welcome to the home of hard truths and bold insights. Radio Generation.
You will follow this conversation also on social media. Please do follow us on our social media platforms. That is on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. That is at Radio Gen KE. There utatupata. So as we were going for the break, you had a question about the youth.
Yes. So our guest today is George Gibore. He is the General Secretary, Kenya Union of Cleaning Officers. We wanted to talk about the health puzzle in this country, but we started from mbali kidogo. We started with politics, and we're still going to be talking about health. But he was articulating a point earlier on, and it was in regards to the youth and them being able or unable to take leadership positions. And where we left off, you were talking about some of the prominent youth leaders who had come out and they were very vocal. You've mentioned Kasmuel, you've mentioned Morara, and I'm sure there are others who will come up at one point. Whether they will make the cut or not is up to Kenyans, but maybe you can conclude on that.
Yeah, let me remember, I was checking so that we also inform Kenyan.
Yes.
Zile vitu the youths are saying. Wanasema overtaxation without service.
Yes.
Unatukata pesa lakini hatuoni reflect kwa service. Unajua ukinikata pesa leo hii uniambie mtoto hautalipia shule from lower level to the highest level. Umeni relieve. Ukinikata pesa uniambie free medical services. Sindio? Na hiyo watu wataanza kuona, yes, umenikata lakini naenda mahali fulani.
Yes.
Umenikata pesa, mtoto wangu ako na klasi ya kukaa. Si mtoto wangu akae kwenye mti. We still have places where children are sitting under trees. So we want to see money, when you take our taxation, reflect in development.
Okay.
Ukichukua loan, let us see kutoka mahali umeiweka na inafanya nini kwa maisha ya Wakenya. Ile kitu ingine wanasema ni corruption and misuse of public resources. Yeah?
Yes.
Public funds. Sasa ukisema corruption, hiyo tumeiongelea sana. Na ukumbuke hizi forms za corruption ziko mingi, si ndio? Inafuatokana na ile bribery unapeana hapo.
Yes.
Sisi wa Kenya tunalia, lakini sisi tunatoa bribery because police amekushika. Your car has no
registration. License.
Haina license. Hujalipia insurance.
Yes.
Lakini unamwambia afande, ni wanaharaka. Chukua kitu. Wewe unaona you are still clear because you have bought your way. Sawa. So siku ile umewekwa katika unataka kazi, mko watu 20 mnataka kazi moja. Good enough you come from somewhere where someone can support you.
Yes.
They need 400,000. So you buy. Unajua mbeleni tulijua tu position yenye ungelipa pesa ni kwenda military. Nowadays mpaka kanjo you pay money.
Yes.
So there is no position for free,
even to work as a casual.
Yes. Nowadays hata kutaka kupata mtu wa kukufanyia kwa nyumba wanalipa mahali ndio mtu wa prepare kuwalete kwako. Corruption chains zina grow daily basis. So hiyo bribery nimesema, embezzlement of public resources, procurement corruptions where you have to cut deals, mnakaa pale mnakubaliana vizuri, nimeleta proposal imekubaliwa, so kuna pesa nimeshaiona iko, nakuja tunakutana Serena, we have agreed how to ensure that those tenders are taken care of na zimeenda kwa kampani zetu. Unatoka hapo unaenda nepotism. Sasa hiyo pia is a biggest problem that we have under the counties, because huko sasa ni kujuana, lazima uhakikishe kwamba unajua mtu mwenye unaweka huko.
Yes.
Kuna kickbacks. Si kazi nimekupatia?
Yes.
Ama nimekutuma umeenda workshop.
Ndio.
Hii pesa nimekupatia workshop ya 2 weeks.
Yes.
You're going to earn close to 100,000.
Yes.
My kickbacks. So hii ni vitu inafanywa na watu wa chini, si president. Sio president. Ukitoka hapo kuna state capture. Hiyo sasa ndio ile yenye watu wamejua kutumia sheria. They come today, they look at a policy, certain policy, they design a policy to favor their angle, na alafu hiyo pesa wana push pesa inakuwa allocated to that angle, and then they ensure that they are the one to execute that plan, and they get those money.
Okay.
Those are we call state capture. That at all time they manipulate even budget to work in their favor, so that wherever the money itawekwa, they have a hand in it. Unajua hii kitu haijaielezwangi sana ukisikia state capture.
Yes.
President yako huko, lakini kuna watu wanaapia hapo nyuma yake, wanaangalia, wanapiga picha, wakitoka hapo president anataka kwenda Nyanza. They move around the ministry and the counties and telling them the president want 100 million.
Yes.
Okay.
He is going so and so. People get money, and you are the one to take care of how you get money.
So
na hata president hajui, but there are people moving around and manipulating system to ensure that wanatumia jina ya president.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's also not aware. Yes.
Yes, you know that is I'm saying what normally happen,
Yeah.
Kuna kitu inaitwa ghost workers. Watu wame-employ ghost workers. The ghost workers are earning more than 100,000. Like here in Nairobi, there is a time Sonko aliingia. He did the audit. These people were more than 300.
Ghost workers.
Yes. 300, everyone earning more than 100. Some of them were earning up to 500,000. So those are several million you pay monthly. And this money goes to people's pocket.
Yes.
Without any service. This money intended to do service is intended for public good. Is intended to offer services.
Yes.
Maybe kama ni medical services. Kama hiyo pesa wanaonyesha kwamba hizi ghost worker ni healthcare workers.
Yeah.
Facility B haina clinical officer because there is a ghost worker employed for people to take away public resources.
You want to tell me that there's a ghost worker earning 500,000?
Yes.
I want to be a ghost worker.
And others pia dead people.
What are you
Majina
saying?
yao bado iko kwa register.
There is a
ya
time there was an audit in Siaya. In Siaya.
Yes.
And there was someone employed who was actually a cleaner.
Right.
But he was appearing as a clinical officer. He has also another personal number as a medical officer, was earning more than 3 salary.
Wow.
One individual.
Yes, one individual. So did that individual really ni yeye mwenyewe alijiweka kwa hizo position zote? Hapana.
Moja ilikuwa yake, ingine ilikuwa ya fulani, na ingine ilikuwa
hasa anaweza kuwa hajui.
Asema
but because people know this one hatafuatilia, they have taken their identity. Details. Wherever they have manipulated. Wamememploy kama daktari, wamememploy as a clinical officer, so has taken up a position for a real person to execute services.
Yes.
So this corruption ndio hao vijana wanasema wanataka ziishi. Land grabbing. Serikali iko na shamba kubwa sana, mashamba kubwa yenye ambayo inatakiwa kuwa dedicated kufanya nini? Kufanya huduma kwa Wakenya, hata pia kupatia wale kabisa hawana shamba. Hiyo serikali inatakiwa kufanya. Lakini mtu mwenye ako na mashamba maheka laki fulani, bado yeye ndiye anaiba mashamba ya serikali. Aibu hatuna. So unaona, hiyo ndio wanasema tunataka kumaliza mambo za corruption. Well, nafikiri ulikuwa unauliza.
Yes, Mr. George, because I know that the list is actually
nisema tu hiyo list tu peke yake bila kula without explaining. Youth unemployment, which is the biggest thing.
Yes.
And so you may create hopelessness, disconnection from political classes.
Yeah.
Wanasema they don't feel them anymore. So wanataka hiyo imekuwa kama elite, ni elite class.
Yes.
So ukitoka hapo kuna police brutality hii imejitokeza juzi baada watu wameanza kulia ovyo ovyo, wengine wanapotea, but ilikuwa huko hata wakati wa uhuru. Na kila serikali imekuwa hivyo. Tunataka sasa inakuwa escalated. Yes. Na inakuwa very obvious, lack of transparency and accountability. Wako kwa ofisi, tumechukua loan lakini no one know where it went. Hata haionekani kwa account yenye ilikuja. Tuko na ile anaita demand for generation inclusion.
Yes, inclusivity.
So those are some of the issues zile nimeona mainly they have been repeatedly wanajaribu kuzilete.
So since we all agree that these are concerns that are genuine. Actually, I know across all divide everybody agrees that these are things that are genuine.
Yes.
But now we have seen people go to the streets.
Yes.
We have seen the Gen Zs go to the streets.
Yes.
Tumona police brutality. So I just want us now to look at how this is also impacting the health sector. You are from the health sector. And as we were talking off air here, we talked of this one police who shot Boniface Kariuki. And I was looking at what the Standard newspaper is saying on the headline, that in the dock alone, there are so many issues that the police service have, especially the police wanapitia a lot of things. Now we were looking at how he shot this guy. Ukiangalia clearly what I've been telling Mungala, there is a problem with the mind. Like there is a mental issue, there is a problem somewhere with this police. Maybe let's look at how the health of these police officers, because some of the things manze mtu kiona akifanya kuna tu vile there is a problem somewhere. What do you have to say about now the mental health of police officers and so forth?
We talk about mental status of the country. I think President Uhuru, there is a time he was talking about unemployment.
Yes.
Many Kenyans are not employed, and he talked about the challenges Kenyans are going through, and he mentioned of critically the mental status, and he was pushing for initiative to ensure that we deal with our mental status, because he said it's a time bomb. Now we are in that real situation. Yenye, I don't care what happened tomorrow. I will do anything anyway. When you see young people coming and they mtu anaenda, you know, wewe wakati ulikuwa muli grow up, how can you go to police station and start shouting? Leave alone burning a police station.
It was hard.
Leave alone a police station. Now we have police station burned down, 1, 2, 3 na hata kuendelea. We have several police cars burned down, 1, 2, 3, even going to 10s. We have several police officers assaulted by people akishikilia gun. So is that only police mental issue we should talk about? Is about actually a generation.
Yes.
We don't have a generation. People are like sina kitu yaku, anaishi maisha ya kutoa chini na mdomo. Ile maisha ya
hand
kutafuta
to mouth.
hand to mouth. Na hata hao mapolisi pia wako challenged. Unajua mtu ameemployiwa miaka, several of them, na hata hajawahi pata promotion, bado maisha hawezi mudu chakula, yeye mwenyewe watoto wanaishi ni kama hata hafanyi kazi, hawezi support watoto wake kwenda shule ambaye anataka, na bado you think that he is mentally stable, na anashikilia bunduki, amevaa uniform, anakaa smart, unafikiria kwamba ako stable. Mentally ako challenge. How many times has police taken their family, the whole family, anaenda anachukua watoto, anaua, anamaliza na bibi na anajiua. Tumekuwa na hizo cases. Was that not a sign to say that there's mental issues with these people? Mtu anaamua, anasema mkubwa wangu ananiambia niende mahali fulani na mimi sitaki. Mkubwa ni wewe utaenda na mimi niende. Anamchapa risasi, anajichapa risasi. Those are the people we want to take care of our life. Even at our status where we feel that we are in a mental anguish, our depression is so high, then we say, wao ndio wata take care of us. When you isolate yourself to have problem, think of the person who you are with. Most of the time tunaambiwa we are all alarmed kwamba ukiingia kwa matatu ama driver, if you realize the driver amelewa, that is when you cause alarm. But this person could even be sick mentally, na wewe unafikiria yeye ako hapa na drive but he's home or he's somewhere doing other things, na wanaweka kwa msitu kwa mto. So this issue is a big issue, and we as healthcare workers, we are pro-life. We want to speak about a situation where we need to correct this. Kama kuna small measures that everyone need to do, and there is no way we can cure this issue by shouting at each other or even raising voices against each other, because we have a country to safeguard. Wakati ambapo unaona kila mtu hayuko stable, let me say, to say the least, at a time when the president say shoot those people, na sheria inasema kila mtu everyone is innocent until
proven guilty.
Hata kama nimekushiku unaua mtu hapa kama huyo polisi, the police is still innocent, you remember?
Yes.
Mpaka wakati ule atakuwa sasa atakuwa confirmed kwamba ukweli wewe umeiba na wamuweke sasa korokoroni. Hapo ndio atakuwa amehukumiwa na itajulikana sasa wewe ni mhalifu, si ndio? Nimeiba pesa, na kweli hii pesa inaonekana it was moved electronically na ikaingia my account. I'm still innocent
till proven guilty.
Now the proof of guilty is subjective.
Yes.
Is subjective. So hawa mapolisi wetu na wale vijana wetu mahali tuko, we are not stable.
All right.
Mentally we need to discuss and get to see how to address our mental anguish.
All right. George, I think we'll have a different forum to talk about the politics of this country. But right now, I want to bring to your attention something that the Senate Health Committee raised in May of this year. They said that there's a health crisis in the northern region. We have expired drugs. Actually, some of the things that they raised, they say there are broken machines, staff gaps like you've mentioned, and alleged drug theft as well. TB lapses where we have expired drugs, and maternity challenges. This is in Wajir. In Marsabit, they said that they had expired drugs and absentee staff, probably even ghost workers, and unaccounted millions. And we can go on and on and on in terms of the report and what was exposed in that. So as a clinical officer, I don't know, why are we having these kinds of issues, especially in the north? Is it because of understaffing, staff that are not well trained, or just again, let's go back to the issue of the system, or a system that is just not working for us but against us?
That's a very good question. And I feel that that's what tulikuwa tumekuja kuongelea. Na sasa umenipeleka mahali tulikuwa.
Karibu nyumbani.
Ili nitamatishe ama kufunga mahali tulikuwa.
Yes.
Ngoja niseme kwamba tuko katika hali ya mgomo, tuko katika hali ya sintofahamu. Last demo we saw people attacking a health center, Kitengela, and even they went in where
a cesarean section was
happening. And a gentleman who walked there alikuwa amepiga kio akitaka kupiga anaona mtu kwa dirisha ako pande ile akapiga kio amuonyesha ako na nguvu. Then hiyo kio ikamkata tendons nini na nini. So he was pleading akikimbiza watu wamsaidie the healthcare workers, and they were running away because he was violent, misbehaved. So wakati aliona mlango ya theater, he pushed and went in. Good enough. We did not retaliate because we'll have refused to attend to him. He was attended to, but he was already going into hypovolemic shock, meaning amebleed sana.
So much
he
blood
was
is
actually
lost.
Yes, a delay to address that issue will have caused his death.
Okay.
So anytime you think you want to raise a stone against me, get to know that I could be your helper. So, and in any setup where there is violence, even if war, healthcare workers and health sectors, health institution are a protected area.
Yes.
It is not even only country laws, but also international laws and the charters. It acknowledges that health centers are a safeguarded place. Sasa na kama healthcare workers tumejipata katika hiyo vurumai. Unapita, unatoka kwako, barabara imefungwa, na wale ambayo wako kwa hiyo barabara ambayo wako maandamano, they rob you. Pia ukifika kwa mapolisi, they terrorize you. They think you are among the people. Now, unaenda kazini. That is the issue that has been affecting our operations and performance wakati huu wa mgomo. Na sasa ikienda ifike mahali tunaenda kuwataka watu katika hospitali, we have said we are not going to tolerate.
Yes.
In any case, any institution, hospitals are a government installation. We want to see armed police protecting those areas. But that is not also enough, because we have seen people attacking police station and burning down police station. So that will not be enough. We must be guaranteed that ukweli hiyo place is safeguarded.
Yes.
Because katika hali ya usalama ni lazima mimi nijichukulie usalama wangu kwanza kabla nifikirie usalama wako. So
tuliona sorry for cutting you. Tuliona pia wakati wa maandamano, I think it was also last year and sometime this year, where we had health workers set up in the CBD to assist people who are probably injured during maandamano.
Yes.
Police were actually even lobbing tear gas. I think they were at either Holy Family Basilica or Jamia Mosque.
Yes.
Some people had set up some places to assist watu wanaumia kwa maandamano. Police were actually throwing tear gas at those health workers
true.
as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Since time memorial, human beings have resorted to address their dispute through war and violence.
Yes.
And this is very bad. Now, we as healthcare workers, we are there to safeguard those lives. And I was among the people who were assisting, even mobilizing resources to do that. Polisi wametuattack vile ulivyoona. Ilipofika jioni bado tukienda nyumbani, the same people who we were assisting were robbing us. They were taking our goods away.
Okay.
And that is why you saw we moved out and we never came back. Did you see as they again come? We said no. Okay. They don't even understand themselves. So you cannot be saying let's stop this and you are doing it. We are neutral in such an environment. Whether we are employed by government or not, at a time of war, whether it is a police officer, whether it is those protesters, anyone who have been injured, it is our responsibility to take care of those persons. And therefore, all of them, it is also their responsibility to guarantee our safety. Whether you are a protester, whether you are a police officer. So that is the situation that now we are saying. Going forward, if our security is not guaranteed in the affected areas, we will withdraw our members. We don't want to see anyone losing hope, losing life.
Yeah.
Hapa Nakuru.
Yes.
Risasi ilipigwa na ikapita kwa gari ya mwenzetu akienda kazini. What if your risasi ingempata? He was headed to the, actually he was going to attend an emergency because he is an anesthetist.
Okay.
Risasi imepita kutoka Pandei na imeenda Pandei. Do you see the danger we are involved in?
Yes.
And we are saying that is no a signal we are not willing to take it. Let's go back to your question probably.
Right.
That one I'm only saying.
Yes.
The youths normally say, or rather those protesters say, ni public holiday. We will take it as a public holiday.
And stay home.
And stay at home. That's what we have said.
Okay.
Now, hii maswala umesema kuna utata. We have had issues, the report after the Senate committee visited, I think it was Mandela.
They went to Wajir, Mandela, Garissa.
Garissa, yes. One of the key issues we saw was very many drugs which are have expired. It's not only in Mandera.
Yes.
It's not only in Wajir. It's not only in Garissa. It happens elsewhere. Why? Is it that the staff who are there are not trained? There are mixed issues. For instance, if today, for me to run a level 2 facility as a private, I will be forced to have a farm tech. I will be forced to have clinicians. I will be forced to have all the people that I want. In government installation, a government facility, you'll be surprised that most of level 3, you have a clinician and a nurse, and they are supposed to have several other staff, medical laboratory, farm tech, pharmaceutical technologists, among other staff. Unfortunately, you'll be surprised that I, as a clinician,
yes,
I will see the patient, I will do the registration, I will do most of the thing because there is no human resource. The human resource gap is the biggest problem that we have in this country. Now, when we talk about the human resource, is about the focus, because a number of politicians thinks that by building up, kuweka hizi building na huku, then hiyo ndio kujenga maendeleo ama ndio maendeleo ya afya. No. As healthcare workers, we are trained to work even outside a building. We can actually put, like vile umesema tulikuwa tunaweka pale Uhuru Park na tunatoa huduma ya afya.
Ndio.
Sasa sisi hizo vitu zingine hizi kama buildings, structures, hizo zinakuja as the secondary item for our work. For any measurement, first measurement on how health is doing worldwide is about the number of staff you have now, and then you come the financing system. How are you financing your health system? Because again, finance is the foundation of everything. You have to pay the staff, you have to procure all items that are used in the hospital, which are continuously, like medicine, you have to continue buying. There are usable resources that I use. My glove I used to here today, I drop it there, I need another glove for another patient. So those must be there. Lab reagents must continue being there. Now when you come to a place where you don't have a pharmaceutical technologist, is one area where you find kuna dawa, but because I'm the one to go to dispense, I will dispense what is within my disposal. And unfortunately, it's not even a clinician. We have had even there are nurses who are dispensing, even sometimes clerks. I want you to do your research, move around the level 3, level 2 here in Nairobi.
Yes.
Whether they have a farm tech, but they are dispensing drugs. So if you don't have someone to dispense drugs and you have a pharmacy, that is a biggest gap.
So a farm tech is the one who's actually been taught pharmacy.
Yes, a pharmaceutical technologist or a pharmacist.
Okay.
Those are the two type of people who are mandated and trained to dispense drugs.
So this is the person I find at the pharmacy and I'm be take this one 2 times a day.
Yes.
Or 1 time.
And the reason is I have given a prescription. A man is to error. I can make an error. That person must know drugs very well.
Yeah.
So that if I have messed on the issues of prescription in terms of the dosage, anaweza confer seme, daktari, you have indicated that amoxicillin atakunywa 1 gram na miaka haifiki. Because probably uliandika umefika pale hata ukumbuki, your mind is already somewhere. As we have said, mental challenges is all of us. Wengine umetoka nyumbani, you are depressed, uko na stress zako, then you end up doing a wrong thing. The person to counter check you is a different person. It cannot be you. It is actually a wrong thing for me to prescribe and go to dispense medicine. Second, a contribution to why drugs are expiring. The people who are doing procurement are doing it for motivation, for their own business. It is not service geared. Meaning, me as a clinician who is supposed to inform, because I study the trend of kind of disease we have in the area, I must inform the kind of medicine we need. Now you don't consult me, because you are seated there and you are a big person feeling you are the director somewhere. You decide which medicine to bring in a health center. You decide in which medicine to take in a level 4, level 3 and back level 5. So at the end of the day, this medicine is of no value.
Yes,
it will stay there, it will expire, because in any case you are paid for it, it must be there. Now mbeleni, and even with the digital system that we have, again mbeleni, what used to happen is that the supply, the decision making is a central place. So if we can see on a system that dawa za malaria zinahitajika sehemu fulani na ziko mahali fulani hazitumiki, because the system need to show me. I need to. So lack of interconnected system is also the third contribution to high drug expiry in our facility. So those are 3 issues. Na nimeanzia human resource, nimesenda hiyo tendering process, and then the third issue is a system, digital system that can be able to say, mimi nimekaa hapa, kama mimi ni mtu wa Nairobi ndio na manage mambo, natakiwa nikae nikiangalia the balance.
Yes.
Dawa nilituma hii facility 2 months down, the dawa haitumiki, na pia hii system inanionyesha expiry date, imeshanipatia a 3 or 6 month notification, hii dawa ita expire. So I need to shift this medicine to where it is required to make good use of it. We waste resources.
There has been cases of some doctors anakupatia prescription yenye anajua bado mko na hiyo dawa pale, but still they send you to their is it pharmacies. Yes, what do you have to say about that? Because kuna wengine anajua hiyo dawa iko
yeah,
but then anakuandikia dawa alafu anakutuma wapi? Outside.
So dawa ziko and sitaki kutetea mtu kwamba hizo vitendo zipo, kwamba unapata someone has a pharmacy hapo nje na na generate prescription to facilitate
sales at his shop.
Yes. Shop yake. That is very wrong, and those are people I'll say that those are rogue practitioners, and they should not be encouraged. And therefore what I'm saying is that, do we have managers who get to know? Because my prescription currently, like now we are going digital, I should do a system yenye iko, but again I know I have sat somewhere where I know that dawa yenye imeletwa hapa, the generics is not working.
Okay,
I will tell you vehemently that, by the way, hii dawa iko hapa with your condition,
yes,
you need an original medication.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it is an augmentin, I'll not give you the generics. I tell you, go buy, because it is not there.
Then why was
perceived?
Yeah.
Because I have said already there is a problem in procurement and the person prescribing. I myself as a practitioner have gone to Kenyatta and I'm told, yes, the dawa hizi zenye ziko hapa, you need this. And we know. Now, again, our quality, the quality of medication that you find that we accept in our system, some of them are substandard. We have seen several times KEMSA recalling medicine.
Okay.
Wewe umeruhusu dawa kwa market. You wake up tomorrow to recall that medicine. You didn't do your due diligence. You should take responsibility. It's a form of corruption.
You know, there's a time
I want us to do a bit of traffic, and then we get back to that whole issue of procurement and how we can actually get rid of that problem in that particular sector.
Traffic.
All right, so I'm looking at where is this? I'm looking at Langata Road. Langata Road, nothing to complain about. I think people have already gotten to the offices. The roads are looking very clear this particular hour. Raila Odinga Way, that is Mbagathi Way. As you're heading towards Ngong Road, kwa hiyo roundabout kidogo kuna ka traffic, but after that it opens up at Kenyatta National Hospital. If you're on if you're on Kenyatta Avenue heading towards Nairobi Serena Hotel, hapo hamna shida yote, everything is looking a-okay, moving quite smoothly. Mahali mko na shida na ninawahurumia tena sana ni Landis Road. Landis Road right now is literally bumper to bumper, and the inroads like Factory Street hizo zimeshikana pia at this particular hour, but msijali, it's only about a 5-minute delay. Things are opening up as you move, or rather as time goes by. Last but not least, Jogoo Road, mkielekea kule Makadara kuna traffic nyingi sana. Hii imeanzia Jam Rescue all the way to Eston Apartments. That is where you're finding Kizungumkuti.
Ngong Road also, I see things not that much good around Junction, pia pale Prestige kuna a lot of traffic. Pia ukiingia town community there is a lot of traffic there, by the way. Then on your way to town, all the way using Thika Road, things are not so much good. Actually, as you get to town from KCA, as you come through ukipita Apangani, as you get to town, things are not quite okay. Mombasa, I'm also being told that Lights Kengeleni pia things are not so good, but good thing in kwamba it's moving.
All right.
Traffic on Radio Generation.
All right, so in studio we are with George Gibore. He is the General Secretary for Clinical Officers here in Kenya. He was just highlighting why we are having so many problems such as expired drugs in our hospitals. And why you might go and when you're given a certain prescription, you're sent to go and buy it outside. Then why would the government buy generic medicine if they know for a fact that perhaps a specific drug might not be effective in the Kenyan market?
The use of the word government is a wrong terminology to me.
Okay.
because one, every time we say government, we lose it.
Okay.
Government is with the people. It is not actually people in office. But that is how we have juxtaposition to government culture to mean that people who now sit in offices, they are the one called government.
Right.
Those are our workers. They should be our workers, and we should take them to task. We are their employers as Kenyans. Every time you see someone buying something, I think I had yesterday a discussion in the Senate, which was very good. Someone has used government resources to do something, kujenga ka bridge, and then anasema build by. Whose money did you use?
Kenyans money.
Kenyan money. You tell me you did it for me. You bring me a check, na unasema ni wewe umeniletea unikumbuke kwa kura. That was a very good discussion yesterday I had from Parliament, and I mean from the Senate, and we should encourage such a discussion. And therefore, wewe ukiwekwa pale ukosee, let us not say about government. Let it be Gibore, you are doing a wrong thing.
Okay.
There is someone in a certain county is doing a good work, and you will find that they have minimized even wastage of resources. But the county B, all privileges, bilferage. Yani amefungua mifereji ya kumwaga pesa za umma. Unanielewa? So these two people, are they all Kenyans? They are all Kenyans. But there is someone with bad habit. And the bad habit must be called out. So kama healthcare worker mmoja anafanya vibaya, it should not be clinical officers, all of them. It should be that individual Gibore to take responsibility of their action.
All right.
And that is why we say our system should work. And it should only work if we consider putting the right people to push the system to function properly.
Well, I want to understand how this the cover issue, the medical cover issue, and like the NHIF, what it used to cover, because I understand it is also part of the reasons why some of the drugs requires na expire kule katika hospitali, because there's some place I went and I'm being told that NHIF cannot pay this medication. Is it part of whatever is happening?
Let me say NHF had its flaws, but NHF, there is a time when you could negotiate. The first employment I got, I was posted to Kajiado. That was 2013. At Kajiado level 4, NHF had procured medicine for their people. So you know, NHF or SHA today is a vehicle for to procure services. So when you procure services, you must be very strategic. What is it that you want to do? To some extent, some facility will want to put some medicine because of what they get from that medicine.
Okay.
You understand? So then NHF used to say, we are only paying for medicine that are bought from KEMSA. And maybe the medicine you have put in your facility do not come from KEMSA.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
Yes.
So they used to limit that. And to some extent, they used to limit how much they can pay for certain medicine. If it is oncology, madawa ya kanza, kuna zile wangelipia na kuna zile hawezi lipia. Because ya ile chartered, negotiated benefits. So you used to negotiate for benefit. Now, leave alone. Tukuja kwa SHA.
Yes.
SHA inasema kutoka ile level 2 mpaka level 4, you are supposed to pay to be free, because if only you have been registered. If only you have been registered. So at any time someone tells you that you are going to not to do 1, 2, 3, it should raise an alarm. Because already you are being pushed somewhere. And that's why we are saying the corruption cartel is not only in the president's office. It is not only in the governor's office. We have corrupt element everywhere. In our roads, in our hospitals, and everywhere. Even in private sectors. Unaenda mtu anakuambia nimekupatia dawa ya kuosha damu. Hakuna kitu inaitwa dawa ya kuosha damu. Unaibiwa. People are using terminology to con you. So hizi vitu ndizo watu tunasema sometime when you're so clean, people fear you.
Okay.
Na sasa kwa sababu ulikuwa umeniuliza hizo mambo za corruption vile zina happen on the tendering process and where it ends that someone is procuring medicine, because mimi nimekuja nimeona We have already imported, we have our medicine here. Our medicine will expire. I come and negotiate with the director who is in charge of pharmacy in a certain county. Niko na hizi madawa, tafadhali nichukulie.
Okay.
So ukisha chukua, there is kickbacks.
Yeah.
This gentleman, without even knowing that I'm wasting government resources, because for him it is personal interest. Anachukua,
ana stock,
anakupushia kwa facility. Unaona? So without involving the prescribers, those who are prescribing medicine, the practitioners, unawasukumia pale hata ki expire in any cases in government resources. And that is not happening in most of private facility because they procure only for use, not for kickbacks.
Yes.
And personal gains. So that is why any facility that is doing well, what they need to do, wakati wanaona, they normally have a projection. They do a trend trace. Kwamba within this period, this is the medication that has been going very fast. And then they look at the diagnosis and what are the medication that are supposed to be used along that line. So then it is already informing the kind of, so then you have departmental meeting to discuss those trends and agree on which medicine to buy. Then now you propose to those who are supposed now to buy the medicine.
Okay.
They should not vary because you are the practitioner, you are the one who is using the medicine. Ukinunua madawa kuja kuweka huko hujatuhuzisha, ni madawa yako umenunua, si ya wagonjwa.
So the CS juzi amesema kwamba there is a lot that is happening in order to streamline the health sector in our country. And I know some of the challenges that you've been having. You've said it's overworking the health employees because kuna number ambayo iko limited, like for you guys you need to see like is it 38 people in a day. But now you realize
end up seeing over 100.
Yes, you end up seeing over 100 patients and so forth. During his speech, do you think that this is going to be solved, looking at now the number of staff that you people have na what is happening right now?
A good question. Nimeona report ya Auditor General. Waja ni kusomea vitu kidogo tu.
Okay.
Vitu key problem in medical tendering. Wanasema corruption and kickbacks, wanasema non-competitive bidding. Ile nakuja tu hiyo yenye nilikuwa nakuja kusolicit. And then kuna hii ya overpricing and procurement of substandard goods. So I have already talked about substandard. Na overpricing, mtu anaweka dawa juu. Dawa inatakiwa, paracetamol inatakiwa kwenda maybe at 3 shillings. Mtu amekuwekea 10 shillings. Anapata nini? Political and bureaucratic influence. Sasa mimi niko kwa ile position ya kusema hapana, tununue kutoka kwa friend because probably I have shares huko ama nataka kurudishia kitu. So you influence and bypassing procurement laws, because then you are in position to manipulate the laws and bypass that procurement laws. Delayed or non-delivery of supplies. Sometimes umenunua dawa kutoka KEMSA because ni mimi nimezinunua kwa jina ya facility, this medicine ni za malaria na zinahitajika Tanzania. Ninapitisha, napeleka Tanzania, napeleka Sudan na hazijafika kwa facility but zimeandikwa zimefika. Hiyo ndio tena ile wizi mbaya ni kubwa kwa hizo madawa. Weak contract management and oversight, lack of transparency. Mtu anaamua tu kufanya vitu kivyake, hatuhusishi wale ambao wanatakikana. So hiyo ni Auditor General report. So we have every report to implement and avoid these things you are talking about.
Yes.
Now you are talking about the gaps which we have, which is the issues of staffing. And I'm quite passionate about staffing. I think I said that is the key thing that you need to focus on. If today I'm made the Minister of Health, the key area that I'll deal with is the healthcare workers, to ensure and guarantee they are comfortable offering services.
Right.
Because if you have a healthcare worker who is mentally unstable and you are relying on them to offer services, you risk the patient.
Okay.
You risk the patient. And as I was talking, these are the driver. They're the one who are supposed to inform how we need to invest in this sector.
Yes.
But you are not using them. And that is why I'm saying now, when you have you have taken care of these people, then you are able to get the result. But look at it. we don't have the right number. The few people you have, you don't pay them well. The few people you have, you are overworking them. They overwork. You don't compensate them well. Then you don't even allow them to go for more training, because in health is a continuous learning process. Actually, for those who have a more experience, they are better off than those who you employ today as new. Now, the government under the counties are now specializing in use and dump. You employ people on contract after 3 years because you feel that utaki kuendelea kuwaweka, you drop them, employ new one, na waanzie kuwalipa 15,000, 30,000. And you think that this is good. It is not good. And that is a clear demonstration of unstable health system. Look at it when we had COVID-19. What happened? We were almost shutting down because wakati COVID imekuja ndani na kuna protocol tumetengeneza kwamba if one person is infected, the whole lot have to go home, and then now muwaweke because wanaweza kuwa wametengamana, so then wakuwe followed up. So you have to bring a new full lot for the facility to run. So we realized we didn't have enough staff. So what did we do? We ran and employed several other people, close to 12,000 healthcare workers. The first lot was around 3,000, then the second lot was around 2,000, then the second lot was around 10,000.
Okay.
So we were to beef to ensure that we are able to have enough system, enough healthcare workers to help us do surveillance and case management issues. So wakati ambapo tulifanya hapo, that's when we employed the people you're talking about, the UHC staff, who now Dwale is working to ensure that he can put them on PNP.
Okay.
These people were being paid a wholesome amount of around 50,000. Yenye imelipwa hapo. Remember, it is taxable. So ikitaksiwa anabaki na around 35,000 depending where you are. So hii pesa una expect afanye kazi kama mwenzake ambaye analipwa around 80,000 or even 100,000. Hiyo ni wizi, ni corruption bado.
Okay.
Because if you are manipulating people, you cannot say that you are doing services to them. Now, up to date, a majority of the facilities do not have the minimum resources, human resources that we want. What do I mean? That in level 3B, you're supposed to have around 6 clinicians for purpose of on a daily basis. Asubuhi kuna wawili, jioni kuna wawili, and then kuna mmoja anaweza kuwa mgonjwa, you must have someone to work. Kuna mwingine ataenda leave, kuna mwingine wa kuwork. So at any time they must rotate around 4.
Okay. So
that huyu akiwa off, kuna mwingine we stepping in. So ukiona hauna kama hiyo facility uko na wawili, you are understaffed. And a majority of the facility like here in Nairobi, we have had close to around, wakati Oluga alikuwa kwa ile tulikuwa tunaita nini,
Nairobi Metropolitan Services,
so
NMS.
They built more than several facility, and when he was exiting, we had 22 facility without healthcare workers. Umejenga mjengo, hakuna mtu wa kufanya kazi. Today in Meru, we have close to 17 facility without even a single clinical officer.
Yeah.
But they are called health centers. Ukienda Kisii, we have another close, I was told around 7. Hakuna mtu. But now when there is none, there is other facility zenye hazina. So these people are stressed.
Okay.
Under the county, the health, the human resource, you know the way you plan for human resource. You plan for recruitment and retainancy. When you now retain, you have to grow them, including promotions. There are counties, including Kirinyaga, since devolution, they have never promoted healthcare workers. They have never employed people on PNP. Wanaweka watu tu kwa kandarasi fupi. And that is a governor, like any other governor who has employed several people. And I normally appreciate, as much as I don't agree with a number of them, like Modomi Njoki, Rakanidi, when we devolved staff, he had only 49 clinical officers. Today you talk about 100 plus.
Okay.
So that is a good improvement. But you go up to a stage where you are not able to do anything. And that is why we say there is a reason why we must continue discussing. Looking at, since devolution, we have had more than 107 strike.
Yes.
Either county-based or national. Why? The human resource is not taken care of. Now, we want a central system to manage the human resource. Baki na hizi zingine. Unaona ukiangalia na hizi masuala ya walimu, you make a decision one, it affect everyone. Saa hii tuko na 48 counties, I mean government, managing managing health. When there is a global concern of health, public health, remember health is, health is defined as a public good, meaning it has no boundaries. It can actually cross boundaries. So that is why when there is like when we had COVID, the WHO take full mandate to guide every country, yani wanaiweka inakaa kama kikapu moja, so that then every information
can be coordinated,
is useful and coordinated from a central place.
In
our own country, we had to ensure that the all coordination came from the Minister of Health.
Okay.
Was that not the case?
Yes.
Why is it not that we really think beyond our personal good? Because zile tunajua ni watu wanataka tu kujiendelesha wao wenyewe kwa kutumia health kujibenefit.
Okay.
If that will be considered, I think we will change many things. Where we are already at exponential growth. Ile yenye counties may not grow more from where they are.
Now, when you say central HR system,
yes,
or where we can just manage those human resource, what do you mean? Like we have one that will control whatever goes to county, whatever goes to the main government, or what when you say,
let me give a good example. We have Public Service Commission. Public Service Commission is the employer of all civil servants.
Yes.
But every ministry is separate.
Okay.
Leo hii, the Minister of Health, when it want to employ, what do? They develop indents. Now they have budget. So once they prove that they have a budget, they have the number of people they want, they propose to Public Service Commission to employ. Public Service Commission has authority then to move these people from this ministry to this ministry.
Okay.
You understand? Enabling movement of healthcare workers. Of the staff. But what happened at the county level is a different thing. We have 48 employers. Today, if I was employed as a youth, I'm in Nairobi, and I happen to marry, my wife is in Kwale, and I want to move to ensure that we are together, it is difficult, like actually crossing the River Nile.
Yeah.
And we are in one country. We have different treatment to healthcare workers, and yet all governors are treated equally, all MCS are treated equally, they are paid equally. You have a healthcare worker in Nairobi earning maybe 50,000, and the same person in another country
doing
earning
the same
15,000.
Okay.
Doing the same duty. What kind of inequalities? What kind of discrimination do we have? Why is it that we are not addressing the main problem? We only tend to do. Why is it that management of like financing has to be done centrally? They know very well once you break it, you're not doing very well, and that is why we have the SHA managed from the same system, from a central place.
All right.
So we have every indication to say there is a bigger problem than the gain now we can get from this thing called the counties and na ugatuzi thing.
Okay.
And I'm saying hakuna mtu anakata. Kila county itasema mimi ninataka clinician kiwango hichi, mimi ninataka nurses kiwango hichi, na uproof kwamba nimewekeza resources hii. Then huyu akwambia ndio hawa nimekupatia. Lakini when I want to move from county B to county A, I press my request at this central system. Someone will be saying we have something we call intergovernmental relation what?
Yes.
Committee. It was intended to do that work. What did the governors do? They erected another system called council of governors. So the council of governors imekuwa kama union ya governors. It doesn't consider workers.
Yes.
It only consider the decision of the governors.
All right. George, we've come to the end of this hour. I want to steal you for a few minutes in the next one, so don't go anywhere. Ndakuongeza kahawa. I hope iko sawa. We want to get into the news right now with Winnie Maganga, but a few questions we will need to discuss with the SecGen of clinical workers is the issue of US aid. It was cut off. How is that affecting our health sector at this particular minute? And going forward, of course, the solutions that we will need in the health sector. So don't go too far. We will be right back.
This is Radio Generation, putting back the R in radio. Radio Generation, the home of...
It's 9 o'clock.
Radio Generation, the sound is fine. Pump it up, turn it high all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga. There are reasonable grounds to believe war crimes and crimes against humanity are being committed in Western Sudan. This is according to the International Criminal Court at the United Nations Security Council on Thursday. Targeted sexual violence against women and girls of specific ethnicities was named as one of the most disturbing findings to emerge from the ICC probe on crimes committed in Darfur. War broke out between the Sudanese army and the Rapid Support Forces in April 2023, leading to what the UN calls devastating civilian casualties. Energy and Petroleum Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi has presided over the launch and commissioning of rural electrification projects in Tarbo and Soy constituencies in Uasin Gishu County. In Soy constituency, the CS flagged off electrification projects in several villages, benefiting an estimated 1,000+ households and businesses. At Mareba ECD Ngomo area, a ceremonial switching on of lights marked the commissioning, which is set to connect 77 customers to the national grid. The event, hosted by REREC North Rift Regional Office, was attended by Governor Jonathan B., Senator Jackson Mandago, Tarbo MP Janet Sitienei, Soy MP Honorable David Kiplagat, and other local leaders.
Kama serikali kuu ikiongozwa na Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto, ninajua ya kwamba hii eneo ya Tarbo na Uasin Gishu kwa jumla bado tuko nyuma kwa mambo ya stima, lakini nataka nitoe kwamba msiwe na wasiwasi, kwa sababu sasa nimefika hapa kwa niaba ya Mheshimiwa Rais. Na nishukuru rafiki yangu Mandago, rafiki yangu Sitenei, kwa sababu katika hii mwaka wa fedha ambao tumeanzisha wametupatia pesa sisi kama wizara.
The Parents Association of Kenya chairperson Silas Obuhata has called for authorities to be given time to investigate claims that a teacher at Alliance Girls School engaged in sexual impropriety with students. Obuhata called for the probe into the matter to be made public and tough action be taken on the perpetrator.
Kwa yale mambo ambayo yanaendelea katika shule ya upili ya wasichana ya Alliance Girls, jambo la kwanza ningelipenda kuomba kwamba wazazi na wale ambao wote wamekuwa affected watulie, wapee DCI nafasi ya kufanya uchunguzi wa kutosha. Jambo la pili, tungelipenda kuomba kwamba mbele ya uchunguzi kufanywa, ukweli tolewe, iwekwe kwa public members wajue, wazazi wajue, na baadaye sheria ichukue mkondo. Yeyote ambaye alikuwa alihusika katika haya matendo achukuliwe hatua kali.
He called on the Teachers Service Commission to train teachers at the school on child protection matters.
Nataka Teachers Service Commission ihakikishe kwamba imetrain walimu wote, hata kama itakuwa wakati wa likizo, August holiday. Walimu wote wa secondary schools wawe trained on child protection, wawe trained on mambo ya guiding and counseling, wawe trained on the relationship kati yao na wazazi, kati yao na walimu wenzao, kati yao na administration, kati yao na school management boards.
Obuhata's remarks followed widespread outrage triggered by allegations detailed in an African Uncensored investigation. The expose accused the long-serving teacher and a Christian Union patron of grooming students, including arranging dinner and invoking spiritual authorities, sometimes beginning as early as 2018. Kenya's national football side Harambee Stars has officially begun preparation for the African Nation Championship 2024. A provisional 30-man squad of the Stars is currently training at the Boys Sports Center Kasarani Annex in Nairobi, adjacent to the main stadium that will host all Kenya's group matches. The players were formally welcomed by Cabinet Secretary for Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, Salim Mvurya, and Football Kenya Federation President Hussein Mohamed. The government has pledged its full support with the aim of ensuring that Kenya delivers a strong performance and competes for the title on home soil.
Mine
is to give Kenyans the assurance that we are not going to take this thing for granted. The team is going into camp today, and I can assure you we have done everything in our power to give them all the tools that they require to succeed.
Next week we will take over the other training grounds, and including Nyayo on Wednesday next week. We'll be able now to allow the local organizing committee to do other things in those facilities. But now we are happy with the preparations.
And that's the truth on Radio Generation. Good morning. I'm Winnie Maganga.
In the beginning, there was morning radio. But now there is Radio Generations, the people's breakfast. Curious and bold, getting facts from the shadows.
That's what it is.
Now, as the city wakes and secrets stir, a bright new voice shines. The people's breakfast. Your morning, your voice, your journey. Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Welcome to the home of hard truths and bold insights. Radio Generation.
Yes, indeed, we are the home of hard truths and bold insights. My name is Mungala Mbuvi. It is 6 minutes past 9 o'clock, and the show has to continue. Unfortunately, we have had to let George go because the conversation was very fiery. Now, to realize it won't end right now. So it's actually better to invite him at a different time for a longer period and have a longer conversation surrounding health, because there's so much to talk about. There's like the issue of US aid, that one we haven't discussed it, and the impact that has alone on the health sector. We haven't spoken about the whole issue of human resource in that particular sector, and many other things that we could have picked up. But anyway, the conversation still has to go on, because we have another guest in studio we shall be introducing shortly. But remember, in Nairobi we are on 88.8, Mombasa it's 90.7. My name is Mungala Mbuvi, and of course niko na mwenzangu hapa kwenye studio.
90.7 Mombasa umesema And then 92.1 that is Malindi, 92.6 Lamu, and kule Garissa bahari yake it's 89.5. so you can follow on our social media pages. Please find us at Radio Gen KE. That is on Instagram, on TikTok, on X, and if you want to follow on Facebook also, Radio Generation Kenya is a place to be.
All right. In studio, we have Reverend Dr. Elias Otieno Agola. He is the chairman, National Council of Churches of Kenya, that is NCCK. And the conversation today, we want to understand the role of the church in the democracy in Kenya, and the role they are playing, the role they have been playing, and the role they intend to play. A lot of questions have surrounded the church. So I'll let the good Reverend reintroduce himself and perhaps just get right into it. Reverend, karibu tena sana to Radio Generation.
Asante sana.
Yes. As the chairman of NCCK, I'm sure you get a lot of questions regarding, you know, politics, the state, and the separation of church and state. I'd like to understand your perception, first of all, of this whole issue of separation of church and state.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to have been invited to come and represent the church and religious institutions in general. I chair the National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK, and by grace of God, we have over 32 member denominations. It's good to understand the difference between denominations and just churches.
Okay.
Churches are those worship centers, but denominations are the bodies that bring those churches together. For example, the Anglican Church.
Yes.
So we have so many congregations, but we have different also parishes.
Right.
We also have dioceses, and we have now the entire Anglican Church.
Okay.
When you come to PCA, for example, we have,
you represent.
Which I represent.
Yes.
And where I'm a minister.
Right.
We have several different congregations. Then we have parishes, outreaches, and mission areas. Then we also have now the presbyteries. After that, we now have the National Church,
okay,
which currently has 62 presbyteries.
There is a national church.
The PCA church.
Oh, okay.
Let me even say it is international, because we have churches in diaspora.
Yes.
We have churches in US.
Okay.
We have churches in UK and other parts of the world.
All right.
Okay.
So here, the National Council of Churches represent different denominations: Methodist, PCA, Anglican, name it, PEFA, all the other, these denominations that you know.
All right.
So when I come here, I also come to represent religion.
Christianity.
Here. So it is not only churches. So it is wrong to say church and state.
Okay.
You can say religion and
state.
state.
All right. All right.
Yeah, because we also meet at IRCK, which is the Interreligious Council of Kenya, which now brings the Muslims,
the Hindus,
okay, and the Christian bodies, like the KCCB, which is the Kenya Conference
of Catholic
Bishops.
Okay.
And the organization of all African churches, I mean African instituted churches, the SDAs, and we have so many.
Okay.
So having me here is having religion.
Yes, represented.
Wow.
I have now understood it from a different perspective.
Now you have understood.
And thank you for the enlightenment.
Yes.
Just the other day, I think many Kenyans did not know that there is a church at the State House, starting with. Now that you've talked of denominations, interdenominations you are representing, what denomination is that church which is at the State House?
Yes, in all institutions, we do not have denominations represented there. What we have is a worship center, either for SDAs, for example, when you go to Kenya Police College,
yes,
which is now called the National Police College, I had the privilege of serving there as a chaplain. So we have 4 chaplaincies there.
Okay.
We have the Islamic chaplaincy, the SDA chaplaincy, the Roman Catholic chaplaincy, and the Protestants chaplaincy.
Okay.
So in all institutions which are public institutions, there is no need to have a church which is affiliated to one particular denomination.
Yes.
But there is need to have a chaplaincy.
Okay.
There's need to have a chapel, not a church as we know it out here.
Okay.
It is a chaplaincy, a worship center, a worship house that can be accessed by any other denomination.
Okay.
So claiming that you are building a church, in the general term, everybody knows that a church is affiliated to a particular denomination. But when you say you are building a chapel, then you are building a worship place where anyone from any religious affiliation within that particular religion can worship.
Okay.
So building a big church like what we are hearing, I'm not very sure whether the facts are right.
Okay.
Because there are 2 versions. One is saying 300,000. Another one is saying 1.29
billion.
Billions.
Yes.
I'm not very sure what is being constructed.
Okay, have you ever been in that worship center? Now let us call it worship center.
The one
at the State House. The one at the State House. Now that you sit in the council.
Yenye ilikuwa ni ya mabati.
Yes. I want to be sure whether you are asking whether I've been in State House. Because I think
I'm sure Reverend you've been to State House. State House, I'm sure you've been there.
Yes.
But specifically at the worship center that the president said he found was in a dilapidated state, and he felt like it was his responsibility as a God-fearing Kenyan to renovate it and give it a better outlook.
And actually, because I also want to understand if maybe there are other worship centers maybe for the other religions.
Well, I think it is the president that can answer that question. But I also expected that the president would have given us a comparison, because there is that big building that was projected to us in the media. And there is that small house that he's talking about that is sort of dilapidated and would want to be redone. He should have given us that. Have I been there? No.
Okay.
I've not been in that worship center. I don't know how it looks like.
Okay.
However, if anyone wants to build a church, a place of worship, whether a Muslim building a mosque, a Hindu building a temple, a Christian building a church or a chapel, it should not be a one-person
affair.
All right. And nobody can say that they are able to help the state in building a state infrastructure. Not a temple,
yes,
not a mosque, not a church, not a chapel.
Reverend, let me ask you, I went to high school at Nairobi School, hapa Wayakiwe, and there, when I got in there, I'm a Catholic, so I found a worship center that Catholics used to go and worship. It was actually the school hall, which during the week it would have various functions. So at one point it was an assembly. On the weekends it was where we used to watch movies. In the evening it was where drama festival participants such as myself, we would go there and rehearse. Then on Sunday it would be our church where we had our priest come and would have confession there and would do our mass there. We also had a place where SDAs used to go and do their services, and then we had a mosque also where Muslims would go and worship. Then we had the main chapel that was, because the school itself was, the missionaries that came there were, I think they were ACK, I'm not sure, but they built a chapel there. So we had all these different worship centers that different denominations would go and worship. And you're telling me that not one person is supposed to build a church. So when the missionaries came during colonial and pre-colonial period, who used to build the churches that we saw? The Friends Church and the Catholic Church and the many other churches that we know about. Who used to build these churches?
Yes, the missionary originated churches, like the Church of Scotland, which came with the PCA, the Church Missionary Society, which came with the Anglicans, the SDAs, the Methodists. Not one individual would say, I'm going to build a church.
Okay.
You would bring your money into the general coffers, and the church, here meaning that particular denomination, would send that money across to Africa, so that chapels will be built in institutions, churches will be built, like the Thogoto Church, like the church in Rabai. All those churches, they were built. Like in Mawego, if you go there, there is the Gendia Church for the SDA.
Yes.
They were not built by donations from individuals directly to that particular church.
Right.
The donations go to the church.
So, Reverend, what you're saying is that if today I go back to my village, and I see that the closest Catholic church is really far, and we are so many Catholics there, and we have to travel very far. I can't just, if God has blessed me, I'm probably a billionaire, I just can't say here is 1 billion. I want to build a church here in my village so that watu wache kuenda uko mbali.
You give it to who?
To the church, and I tell them, church, I want you to build a church here.
When you give any money to the church has its own budget, it has its own strategic plans. They know what they want to do when. Your money is given to the service of the Lord in the church.
All right.
Do not impose your desires to the church. Tell the church, I have given this money as any other person. Let them decide what they are going to do with the church.
But I can tell them, kwa hiyo pesa nimewapatia, if you can consider doing something in my area, please do.
That is your desire, it is not your decision. The decision is made by the church.
All right.
In Catholic, we have the parish councils, we have the priest there. We even have the oversight of the bishop.
Yes.
And the other levels. In Anglican, the same. In PCA, we have the congregation, let the taxation decide what they would want to do and how they would want to do it.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Your desire is okay.
Thank you.
Let them know your desire, but leave the decision with them.
All right.
Yeah.
There was a time that there was uproar in terms of taxation of churches, and also the regulation of churches, and let me just say all the religions. Because of course the impact that most of these churches, the activities some of these churches were doing, like we saw the one in Kilifi, Malindi, pale kwa Pastor Mackenzie. Yes, we saw the impact of some of the actions that these churches are doing. What is your take on regulation of churches and the issue of taxes?
Taxation is the only way that the government gets its revenue, and every person has to be taxed according to the law. The religious institutions are also institutions in Kenya, and if there is because there is a law that regulates taxation, that same law has to apply everywhere. However, there are portions of law that allow tax exemption, and every institution has to comply with that law. So the portions of law or sections that allow that exemption has to be dealt with. In NCCK, we were subjected to all that, and we were able to see that law, and where it does not match with our laws, then we have to do the needful so that we qualify to have that exemption. With regards to these regulations, the government is to blame, because they are the people that registered everybody. Now if you register everybody and then you come and say we want to regulate you, yet there are rules that go with regulation, with the registration. If these people provided you with their foundational documents like the constitution, the bylaws, and you agreed to them, and you were able to register them, then you cannot just come and say these people have become rogue. They become rogue in which area? Although I have to admit that there are other religious institutions that have become rogue. They do things that are against the law.
Yes.
But I also know that there is nowhere there is a church, there is a mosque, there is a temple without the government's arm. So how come you allow something like Shakahola to take place? Where was the assistant chief? Where was this Mjikumi man? Where was this provincial administration? If you go there, you'll find a chief camp. How would somebody come and bury so many people without your knowledge? So, is it the church you are regulating, or is it you that is supposed to be regulated on how you enforce the law?
Okay.
So, I'm not saying the church cannot be regulated. In fact, some of our members from NCCK are in that task force, and they made their recommendations, which are very good. And these recommendations should not be implemented before there is a public participation on validating these regulations. Because you cannot talk about me without me, and that is the issue that is happening in the country today. We are talking about the youth, we are making decisions for them, we are making programs for them. Without them, even in your own house, you cannot make some decisions without involving them.
The family, yes.
The reason is they are no longer young. They have a mind of their own.
They have needs.
They also have wants. So in that discussion, you will know the difference between a need and a want. So that you rationally talk about these issues and come to an amicably agreed position. Without that, then it means you are not applying consultation. You are applying confrontation. So what is the product of confrontation?
Conflict. Reverend, there's now that you've brought up this whole confrontation issue, let's go back to a few governments, and I will start with the government of President Moi, because at least I was alive then.
Yeah.
President Moi was friendly to the church, and he used to go to churches, and he was a very frequent member of even his home church. And he would make donations, and politicians and even other affluent business people would make contributions to the church, and I never at any one point saw any conflict between that government and the church. Fast forward to Kibaki, also no issue. Move over to President Uhuru, no issue as far as politicians and the church is concerned. But with the Kenya Kwanza government, we are seeing a lot of conflict between the church or even just religious institutions and the government. Where would you say the problem is coming from? Is it that there's too much donations? Because tumeona pia imefika mahali mpaka kanisa ikasema keep your money, we do not want it. Why are we having this conflict between church and state?
Well, I'm glad you went back to when you were alive.
Yes.
We could also
I'm still alive, Reverend.
You should, when you started being alive.
Yes.
Okay. We can go back to when I started being alive also.
Okay.
And knowing what is happening. The church, the religion, the religious leaders have always engaged the state when they are doing good and when they are not doing good, when they are performing and when they are not performing. Go back to the time of Kenyatta, senior
Jomo Kenyatta. Right.
Jomo Kenyatta was a friend to churches as well. He would come to PCA church in Togoto. He was baptized there in that church. So he would come there. He would engage with the religious institutions, and where the religious institutions would point at some things. You remember the issue of oathing. The religious institution said, no, this is dividing Kenya. This is causing the issues that are going to, be planted in the hearts of other people.
Okay.
And so they would listen. They would come to church. They would support the church. Moi, as you have said, President Moi used to go to almost every church. He would not even announce. Moi, you would just see a motorcade has come, and you are there as a pastor, and you have to deliver the same sermon that you are supposed to deliver.
Yes.
And he was also friendly to the church. He contributed a lot to churches, AIC in particular. Contributed to chapels. I was in Onjeko High School that time, and the chapel there was built through Moi's initiative.
All right.
But Moi used to know that when you come to church, you are a worshipper.
Sure.
He would carry his Bible. He would sit where everybody else sits. He would not talk politics in the church. He would not, raise his money and say, this is what I've brought. No. Moi would give silently.
Okay.
But when there was a fundraiser, that was a particular, event, a special event for fundraising. Moi would come with his team. They would collect money. And that day, it is not only the president's money that is being announced. Everybody. So what we are saying no to as a church is not the politician money. So somebody should not misquote us.
Okay.
We are not saying politicians don't give money to the church.
Yes.
We are saying when you come to a worship service, be a worshipper. If you have any money to give it just like any other person. We will not know who gave this money, because everybody comes to church, gives their offering. If it is time for tithe, they give their tithe. If it is any kind of offering, they give that offering without announcing. What is so important in this politician who comes with 100,000 and whisks it away, raises it and says, I've given you 100,000. What is so important with 100,000 when in that same collection the congregants contributed 500,000? You contributed 100,000. You want us to clap for you for 20 minutes in a service? Yeah.
Yes.
What is so important in that?
Okay.
Politicians are our members. You go to the Roman Catholic Church, you'll find them. You go to PCA, you'll find them. You go to ACK, you'll find them. We welcome them as worshippers.
Okay.
We don't welcome them as sacred cows.
Okay.
And so it doesn't matter whether you are in which position. When you come there, you are a worshipper. And our message as NCCK has been consistent, that our member churches respect these leaders as leaders, but don't allow them to interrupt the worship service.
Okay.
Do not allow them to interrupt the worship service.
Okay.
Because the question is, when this politician comes, why do you change the worship program? Why do you worship? Why do you change it? If you even change the sermon that you are preaching, then it is not from God. Because what was the sermon that God gave you to preach to that congregation before that politician
showed
come?
up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think,
Reverend, let's do a little bit of traffic. Then when we come, kuna swala bado tu hapo kwa politicians ningependa tuzingatie.
Niko hapa.
Traffic. All right, the good Reverend is here trying to make us laugh in studio. We are having a very serious conversation, but yes, looking at the roads right now, Manyanja Road amko tu sawa sawa. The only thing I can see has an issue, for instance, is if you're on Juja Road. Juja Road kidogo ndio kuna shida ya traffic, kuna mahali wameshikamana kidogo lakini inafunguka. Komarok Road, this is coming from, where is this? There's this lane, Mutarakwa Lane. That road has a lot of traffic right now. Then still on Komarok Road, if you're coming from CCF Church, that is CCF Church Nairobi, heading towards Zulfa Wholesale, heading towards Wamushina Mercedes Garage, huko kote kameshikana. Then looking at where is this? Looking at Mombasa Road muko shwa, no complaints. Then Outer Ring Road, if you're heading towards Embakasi, that is where you're heading towards Airport North Road, coming from Allsops, hapo kila kitu iko shwari, lakini traffic towards the end from Feather Estate is where it is bumper to bumper.
Jogoo Road, quite okay, except ukifika pale City Stadium. When you go to Thika Road, quite okay, except ukianza kukaribia town, that is the Ngara area all the way to town. Ngong Road also quite okay, except at the usual places, that is Junction area, kuna hapa Prestige area, and then as you get to town. Kule Mombasa mambo yako shwari kabisa pale Lights Kengeleni, kwa sasa hakuna traffic. Yes.
Nilikuwa najua utasema tu Lights Kengeleni.
Yeah, actually, you know why I like talking of that. You know,
it's one of the major roads.
That is actually the entry of the northern part of the coast,
yes,
to Mombasa. Yes, that is now the entry, because kuna vile utaingia Mombasa town kama unatoka northern part of it without passing through
Lights Kengeleni.
Yes.
Sawa watu wa Lights Kengeleni mumesikia.
Traffic on Radio Generation.
All right, welcome back to the People's Breakfast. We are hosting Reverend Dr. Elias Otieno Agola. He is the chairman of NCCK, that is the National Council of Churches of Kenya. Conversation today is the role of the church in the Kenyan democratic space. And we started off talking about, just the definition of what church is and religion is. And he elaborated quite well. So thank you very much, Reverend, for that. Where we left off the conversation, we were just talking about politicians and their role in the congregation, and you've rightly said that they are just like any other worshipper. They shouldn't be given any special treatment, and so on and so forth. And I believe that is what every other Kenyan has been looking at.
And Mungala, he said that that the church did not have any issue with the money.
Yes.
Yeah, with the donations that the politicians were giving out.
Right.
But at some time, I remember there's a time kanisa wengine walikataa pesa.
Actually walirudisha
pesa, and then me I was like, okay, why are you returning the money? Are you God? So maybe unaweza kutuambia what is your take on that?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Patricia and Mongala. The church, as I said, welcomes money that is given as an offering to God that is given in the manner that is set by the church, that is given with the respect and respect and in view of worship. You don't just do it your style in the church.
Okay.
You go to every church, they have their way of receiving money. They have the way of getting funds. Whether it is from partners, whether it is from donors, whether it is for any other person, there is a way of getting this money. And why would somebody return that money if you go against the protocols of getting that money? They may not embarrass you in that congregation when you come, because I know you are making reference to Archdiocese of Nairobi, of the Roman Catholic Church. There is nowhere the Roman Catholic Church will embarrass anybody. There is nowhere in NCCK would allow any of our members to embarrass a politician. We cannot do that. As I said, they are our members. They come to church. They should be knowing the protocols in the church. They should be knowing the worship program. They should be knowing the what to do and the how to do it. In PCA we have something called the practice and procedure. The practice is what we do. The procedure is how we do it. So you come to PCA, you are not even a member of that church. You should have done your homework before you come, so that with your money, you know how we worship God with our money in the church. So if that is not the right way, then that archbishop, that bishop, that parish minister, that vicar has some kind of a way of handling the church that is agreeable within that denomination. So when the money was given back, at some point they were saying we have not received the money. Did they receive the money? Because that was the day they said we have not received the money. So why do they tell us when they have not received back the money, and they don't tell us when they have received back the money? What message did they want to send with that money? So we would want to tell politicians that this is a place of worship, and a place of worship, there is a way to approach that place of worship. It is a sanctified place. It is a dedicated place of worship. Please, you should leave all that you think you are outside the gates of that church. That is a dedicated place. You come there to worship God, who is higher than anybody else. So when you come there, just respect that place. We know that there is a choir that stood up and started talking ill about the church. We restrain ourselves from answering back, because we know our hands are there to bless, not to curse. Our mouths are there to bless, not to curse. But where we need to correct you, just allow that correction. Don't come back and say that you know better than us. This is our field, and we know what it is. So just come as any other worshipper. We welcome you. If you want to give your offering, give it. Let nobody know. Even the Bible says, yes, the hand that gives is blessed, but it does not also say that when you give and the hand that takes is not blessed. That is our domain. It is us who know how we can help you to understand that verse. But the Bible also says that give in secret, and whatever you give, let this hand not know. So this, what we are against is this publicity. What we are against is you coming to show that I have given you 3 million. This church has been living in very many millions. They have been, constructing buildings and having other institutions within this one institution that cost even more billions. But now you come with that little million and you think that the church will be clapping for you. we are there to clap for God, not you.
Okay.
Yes.
Reverend, this other issue of the youth. They have been very vocal, and they are very deliberate in wanting their feelings to be heard. One thing that they have made very clear is that they want not, number one, to be lied to, and they do not want to be deceived, and so on and so forth. But lately we are seeing a trend whereby the youth are, like in my time, I believe I'm still a young person, I'm not old, but when I was younger kidogo, we used to go to church every Sunday with my parents, and we would go to Sunday school, we would do catechism, and after that the church had other activities for us. For example, tulikuwa tunaenda kesha, the night vigils, and so on and so forth. But we are seeing a deterioration of that currently. It's like the current crop of youth we have, our young people, are not necessarily engaged in church as we used to. Even the kinds of gospel music we are having nowadays are not what we had even 10 years ago. In your opinion, what is going on? Is it that we have a different teaching currently that the youth are just not interested in, or where would you attribute the problem?
Well, I see it as more of a challenge than a problem.
Okay.
Because it moves from crisis to be managed, problem to be solved, and then challenge to be faced. And you are right that at some point, again, when you are growing, were you growing old or growing up?
Growing up.
So that time, yes, that is a different time from now.
Yes.
It's also different from when I was growing up.
True.
Because the time I was growing up, there was no live coverage like this. There was no internet. There were no smartphones, not even a smartphone. There were no phones. The phones that were there, you would book and wait for hours. Here, everything happens
instantly,
real time.
Yes.
Here, you cannot even afford to preach a sermon assisted by AI unless you recognize that from the beginning, that I'm preaching a sermon that is generated from AI. Because the youth can always look at that sermon and see.
Waseme reverend kidogo.
Reverend, sio kidogo. They will say our reverend does not listen to God.
Yes. ChatGPT.
Yeah. So what we are saying here is that we are living at a different time. That does not mean that we should not do things right. We should just do things right. These programs you are talking about in the church, these activities that engage the youth should be added to our planning, so that we are deliberate in planning for the youth, in planning for the children. You are talking of the youth, I would also talk about the children.
Right.
Who, when you take them for a recreation, they will only spend 5 minutes there. You have paid all the money, but they will only spend 5 minutes. After that, they come back to you and say, Dad,
I want something else.
No. I want a phone.
Saidie na simu.
And then every child, the place that was so noisy, children were jumping up and down, all of a sudden, iko quiet. Everybody in their own corner. That is the generation Alpha that we are having. The Gen Zs, as you have said, they are suffering from what we call the curse of knowledge. You can Google that.
Okay.
Your generation is suffering from information overload.
But you said the curse of knowledge.
Curse of knowledge, curse ile ya laana.
Pali ambapo tuliambiwa kwamba the young men, they will seek knowledge.
They'll seek knowledge.
Yeah.
The Bible says that. Yes, now it is time when they have sought a lot of knowledge. Curse of knowledge is where they know about one thing.
Yes.
And they are wondering why at your age you don't know what they know.
So a quick search here on the internet says that the curse of knowledge is a cognitive bias where people who know something have difficulty understanding what it's like not to know.
What it's like not to know.
Yes.
And that's why today our Gen Zs have a problem with the government, because we kept telling them, why don't you get involved in governance? Why are you not voting? Look at the 2020 elections. 16 million of these young people, 8 million took the votes. They never voted. 8 million did not take the vote, even though they qualified to do that. And what was the question? The question was, why is this voter apathy among the young people? Why are they not getting engaged in governance issues? And they got challenged. And they would say, Pastor, I think you are right. We should get engaged. Now, when they get engaged, and with this curse of knowledge, they are understanding why you, Generation X, the baby boomers, the silent generation, and Generation Y, why are you not getting involved? Why are you not getting to your space? Why are you allowing other people to suppress you when you are supposed to stand up for your rights? But we are telling them, yes, you know you are right on this hand, but you should also know your responsibility on this other hand. Because rights go with responsibilities. So the rights is what you want to get. The responsibilities are how you should get it. And so for me, I am not behind the youth. I am with the youth.
The youth.
Okay.
Wow. You know, I'm interested in the, because we talked about technology.
Yeah.
And it is a fact. Technology is here with us. Sasa tukitaka kwa mfano kuhubiri, tukifuata zile means za kitambo, and we have youths who do not come with a physical Bible. Anakuja na simu, anataka asome Biblia yake pale kwenye simu. You have talked of the chat GPT.
Yeah.
I think somehow as the church or the religion, we need also to appreciate technology because it is here. Actually, the generation that you are talking about, yesterday we were having a discussion with Mungala outside there, and we were like, akiniambia kwamba mtoto wake atakuja acheze kidogo, just few minutes like you have said, alafu hiyo nyingine amenyamaza. You won't even understand, or you won't even know that in that house there is a child. Ako amenyamaza, ako kwenye TV anafanya vitu. No, how is the church trying to match up with what is happening? Because I think in one way or another, the church needs to influence the young people.
Yeah, the church should not also bury their heads in the sand, but come to the reality that yes, the technology is here. But those of you who are technologically literate should also know that the church is dealing with the entire society. Some in the cities where they are endowed with technology.
Yeah.
Others in the villages where there is a struggle even to get that smartphone. We take the balance and we train our ministers nowadays, that is church ministers, to understand that you cannot do the business as usual in a particular space. You come to the city, you have to avoid to be rural by extension, where even your examples are when you are walking barefoot. Here you have somebody who, when they walk barefoot, it looks odd because they cannot get out and just walk barefoot. But you go to some villages in Turkana, you go to some villages in the coast, in some parts of Nyanza, in some parts of Somaliland, and you find that these people are still backward. We have to reach them. Not backward in terms of a negative form of it, but they are disadvantaged, they are marginalized, and so many things have happened in those areas that have suppressed them. So the gospel still needs to be both analog and digital, and that is the space where we are. For a long time, I'm a trainer. I train so many things, but one of the things I'm training now is mediation.
Okay.
For a long time, we did not want to train people online. We thought that it is going to compromise the what? Compromise the content. But when we realized that we are losing a very big population, we started training online. and I invite you to come, and anybody who wants to join, my number will be given to you if you want, so that you come and just get trained online. You'll realize that online training is attracting so many people, young and old alike, and older people have become technologically literate. So my answer to your question is, yes, I agree with you that this rural by extension in the city should stop, so that we minister to these people who are technologically awake. They don't come to churches sometimes because it is business as usual. It is rural by extension. Things are not, changing. But again, to come back to what you asked about the youth, why are the numbers diminishing? Remember what COVID did to every institution, including the media.
Right.
Many people now work from home. At the same time, many people have chosen to listen to you online.
Oh, okay.
They even give their offerings online.
Yes.
They do a lot of things online. Meetings are now online. So I think the challenge is that we need to come into that space, and we need to be articulate in those spaces. You don't need to preach a 1 hour sermon in the internet. They need that 5 minutes with the points that they can relate with.
Capture their attention.
Give what is called infographic approach to training or to teaching, where you have your point, but you have another graphic that is doing what? That is relating to what you are doing or what you are saying.
Okay.
These people will be glued there. They will listen to the word. You will talk to them. You will preach to them, and it will be okay.
All right.
So when the youth are saying, meet us at X, they are not saying, come and lecture us. They are saying, come, let us reason together.
Let's engage.
Let us engage.
All right.
Come, let us discuss these issues. In fact, one version says, come, let us settle matters.
And I think that's a good way.
Yeah, I think because I know we have a few minutes remaining, and I really want to talk about this one, the role, the responsibility that maybe the religion institution have on civic education about voting as we speak right now, because we know at the church and the religious institutions huko ndo kuna kura na waheshimiwa wameshajua kura ziko kule, and they come kuzikujia zile kura. What responsibility do you have?
6 of them. Number 1, we have the responsibility to preach the good news.
Number 1.
That is number 1.
Yes.
Preaching the good news,
that's the gospel
is
of Christ.
the reason for which we are there.
Okay.
And let us use our pulpits for that purpose. Preach the good news of Christ's kingdom. Number 2, we have the responsibility to preach about the values and the values-based culture. Values and values-based culture, where we concentrate with mentorship, we concentrate with issues of handing over the baton, and being careful that we have a responsibility to hand over the baton. The right things that we have been doing, let these people also do the right things. The right ways we have been doing it, they may have a different approach, but let them also do it in the right way. Number 3, we have the responsibility as religious institutions and churches to remain the conscience of the nation. To remain the conscience of the nation. If you are conscious, it means that you are awake. It means that you are there to point out when things are wrong. So we have that responsibility. How do we do it? We should be engaged in what you have called civic education, but I'm sure what you meant more was voter education.
Yes.
So that people know how to vote well and engage in the civic space. We can do that, and we have been doing it at NCCK. We develop messages that are biblically and scripturally backed, so that when we talk about good governance, we have a scripture to support it. We have the Catholic social teachings to support it.
Yes.
We have the Quran to support it. We have the guitar from the Hindus to support it. And this we develop, and we have that to do. Number 4, we have an opportunity to leverage on our trusted convening power. Our trusted convening power. This reminds me of the New Kenya initiative of the 90s. This reminds me of the Fungamano initiative. This reminds me of the clamor for the new constitution. We still have it. So when we call on Kenyans to come, let us reason together, have a national conversation, have a national dialogue. It should not be stopped by politicians. We are only saying some things are not working for us. Where can we discuss it? The church is there to do it. Why do you want us to mediate you when you disagree and you don't want us to discuss these issues before they are penned, before you disagree?
Okay.
How many liters of human blood will be poured in this country before you accept to come to this discussion? We have the responsibility as a church and a role to call out all leaders, religious leaders, political leaders, corporate leaders, all leaders in this country to exercise restraint and to exercise responsible use of the spaces and platforms that we have. When I come here to talk ill of other people, I'm misusing this space. When you use your platform and your space as a leader to talk things that will leave this country more divided, you are misusing that place. So religious leaders and all leaders, we are calling on you now to exercise restraint and responsible use of the spaces and the platforms that we always have. There are reckless statements that are going on in this country now. Shoot their feet, shoot to kill, shoot to maim, take them to the hospital on their way to the court. That is not called for.
Okay.
We need to know that the internet does not forget. We also need to know that we are accountable not only to the people of Kenya, we are also accountable to God. And that is the call that we make, and that is our role as religious leaders.
All right.
Nobody is going to stop us from doing that. And finally, we have the role to call for unity in our diversity by bringing up one nation, one people that are serving God and his creation for justice, peace and cohesion. We have this responsibility. Religious leaders, wherever you are hearing me from, you need to know that that is what we are supposed to do. Calling people of Kenya to be one nation and one people.
You talked of member churches. That is this in your statement earlier on. You talked of members of NCCK. What is the process? Is it that there are some other churches and denominations that are not in the NCCK?
Yeah, some are not in NCCK, but the NCCK is the oldest and the biggest.
Okay.
We serve over 17 million Kenyans.
Wow.
Yes.
Reverend, we literally have a minute before we exit.
Yeah.
What would you tell the youth of Kenya right now? Because they're so angry, they're so restless, they're in so much pain. What would you tell them today to just remind them that, number one, things will get better because there's so much hopelessness as well, and number two, just to let them know that they are not alone?
Youths of Kenya have already said it. I'm not behind you.
Okay.
I'm with you. NCCK is with you. We are listening to you. We are acting even when you think we have not acted. We are engaging even when you think we have not engaged. We are here to make Kenya a better place. You are doing the right thing. We are going to support what you are doing. But again, when you are doing the right thing, you should also do it the right way. Do not allow other people who are not sharing the same interest with you to join you and to make it appear as if you are not doing the right thing.
All right.
And I want to warn that it is not right for youth to attack the police stations or any other service persons.
Okay.
These people are here for us. They are our parents. They are friends. We are here to serve with them, and they are there to serve us.
Okay.
When you ban a police station, it is wrong.
So we
when
stop
you
the
ban a cop,
hooliganism.
let us stop this hooliganism. And if there is anybody, because I hear some people say they know there are goons that are sponsored by the government, please go and record that.
Okay.
And when if the government is also sponsoring some goons, please stop it.
All
because we are in this country to remain. Youth, be hopeful, keep on keeping on.
Amen. That is Reverend Dr. Elias Otieno Agola. He is the chairman of NCCK, that is the National Council of Churches of Kenya. We were having that conversation around governance and the role of church in the democratic space in Kenya. Thank you so much, Reverend, for coming. This is where we come to a close. We shall be seeing you on Monday bright and early. Kwa heri, kwa sasa, tuonane wakati huo.
Take care.
All right.
Asanteni sana.
It's 10 o'clock.
Radio generation, the sound is fine. Pump it up, turn it high all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga. National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula now says Monday's Sabasaba protest were meant to frustrate the government of President William Ruto. The speaker adds that the protests had nothing to do with the right to demonstrate, but were meant to destroy and loot property across the counties where the demos were witnessed.
Juzi wamesema tuwe na maandamano. Sabasaba ililetwa na kina Martin Shikuku, James Orengo, Matiba ili kuleta katiba mpya. Tulipata katiba 2010. Sasa Sabasaba inarudishwa kwa nini? Ila tu kumwangaisha nani? Rais William Ruto. Na vile imefanyika tarehe 7, it was a frightening moment. Watu wako wanaandamana au walikuwa ni wahalifu.
Wetangula adds that there is a clear difference between protesting and rioting, citing cases where supermarkets were burnt and looted in several parts of the country by persons disguising themselves as protesters.
There is a difference between demonstrating and rioting. Hao watu hawakuwa wanaandamana, hao walikuwa ni wahalifu. Nimeona mama moja huko Nyeri analia machozi. Wamevunja duka yake, wameiba kila kitu, alafu wameichoma. Hiyo ni maandamano kweli? Tumeona mtu mwingine huko Meru, wameenda wamepora supermarket yote.
The Senate is seeking to introduce firm legal limits on how many chief officers a governor can appoint in a bid to address rising wage bills and unchecked hiring in counties. In a report tabled before the Senate, the Devolution and Intergovernmental Relation Committee recommends amendments to the County Governments Act 2012 to define both the minimum and the maximum number of chief officers each county government can have. This is aimed at stopping governors from exploiting legal gaps to make excessive appointments that continue to weigh down county budgets. Meanwhile, Basic Education Principal Secretary Julius Bitok has called for the arrest and the prosecution of a teacher from Alliance Girls High School accused of grooming and engaging in sexual relations with students. Speaking at Kapkoros Barangetun Secondary School in Nandi County on Thursday, PS Bitok confirmed the Ministry of Education has engaged the Teachers Service Commission and law enforcement agencies to ensure the implicated teacher is interdicted and prosecuted. PS Bitok reiterated the government's uncompromising stance on safeguarding learners and ensuring schools remain safe.
We are not going to condone any behavior where teachers or any other stakeholders in school take advantage of our children. We want to condemn with the strongest terms possible those behaviors of teachers or any characters or any staff within school community who want to take advantage of our children sexually. We as government, we are not going to tolerate any behavior of that kind.